Are you thinking about starting a post-bacc? Or you're about to start a post-bacc and you just want some advice to make sure that things go right? Well, in today's video, I'm gonna share with you guys 10 things that I wish I knew before starting a post-bacc. Hey guys, what's up? It's Danny. As I've said in a bunch of my last videos, I am currently a Pre-Med Post-Bacc student at the University of Florida. For those of you that have no idea what a post-bacc is, or maybe you do know what it is and you're like thinking about doing one, I made a video about what a post-bacc is. I'm gonna leave it like up here or wherever YouTube decides to put it, but watch the video. But I recently just finished my first semester of being a post-bacc student and it was definitely an experience. There's a couple of things that I wish I would have known before starting my post-bacc, which I think would have made things a lot smoother, but that's why I'm making this video, to tell you guys things that I wish I would have known before starting my post-bacc. So let's just get straight into it. Here are 10 things that I wish I would have known before starting my post-bacc. The first thing is, don't treat a post-bacc like undergrad. Everybody's post-bacc journey is different, but I went straight from undergrad to post-bacc, and when I started my post-bacc, I feel like I still had that undergrad mentality. Honestly, going into a post-bacc, I took it kind of like a fifth-year approach. And I literally remember my program director being like, even though you're taking undergrad classes, don't treat this like undergrad. This is a post-bacc. This is a professional program. Do not take it lightly. And me literally sitting right in front of her, graduating from college like 3 months before this, I was just like, what is she saying? She's over-exaggerating. I can work hard, play hard. I could do the same things I did in undergrad. But guess what? I kept the undergrad mentality and I completely failed my first chemistry exam. Now, don't get me wrong. Yes, in undergrad, I did work really hard. I studied for hours, but I was able to get away with a lot of things. In a post-bacc, classes are a lot harder and you just like really can't fall behind. Things that you can get away with in undergrad, like not studying for a day or two, you just can't get away with that in a post-bacc, so you're definitely gonna have to make some sacrifices to make it work. The second thing I wish I would have known is to start early and don't fall behind. Now, I know what you're thinking. Everybody says this, you're always on top of your shit. You're an A1 student, nothing's gonna happen, right? As soon as classes start, week 1, day 1, start studying and start getting your work done. I made the mistake that first week. I was like, you know what, it's the first week. Let me get used to like the new environment. Let me meet some people. Let me go out a little. But guys, do not do that at all. It will ruin you. Once you fall behind, even if it's just 1 week with classes like bio and chem, it becomes so hard to catch up. If it's the first week or you just have like a chill week in general, don't underestimate that week. Like literally anything and everything that you have to get done, get it done. The third thing that I wish I would have known, which kind of goes hand in hand with what I spoke about earlier, is to develop good study habits. I cannot overemphasize this, but never procrastinate. If you have the time and you have stuff that needs to get done, just do it. Don't even question yourself. Don't even get into that mentality of like, oh, but maybe I could do it then. I could do it maybe in a week. I could do it tomorrow. I could do it in an hour. No, just do it now. One of the most important things is to make a really good studying routine and make studying a habit. You're gonna have gaps throughout your day. The key is to find those gaps and see which ones you can study in. And don't make studying a drag. Like, avoid not studying throughout the entire week and then it's like Thursday before an exam and you're like, I have to study. If you just study a little bit every day, it's a lot better than studying like a huge amount for like 1 day or 1 night. The next thing that I wish I would have known before starting a post-bacc is to get tutoring immediately. You're in a post-bacc and it's the first time you ever take these pre-med classes and you might think, I don't need tutoring. I'm really smart. I did really well in undergrad. Like, what's the point of tutoring? I'm just gonna waste my time. Until you take your first chemistry 1 exam and you completely fail it. But if you already think that these classes are gonna be hard, you know that they're just not gonna be easy, get tutoring before you start struggling. In a lot of these classes, especially chemistry, the material builds up, which means that you have to know the material before you can keep learning new stuff. If you just stay stuck on like a concept that you don't understand or you just don't know like the basics of something, you will be The good thing is a lot of post-bacc programs know that a lot of students might be weak in certain subjects, so they offer tutoring, and a lot of schools themselves just offer free tutoring as well. The next thing that I wish I would have known is to get along with your professors and just build a good relationship with them. If you're in a cohort program like me where the class size is really small and the professor actually gets to know your name and who you are, this is like really important. Guys, I get it. You might hate your professor, you think they don't know how to teach, you're just like, how did they even get a PhD? But at the end of the day, you have to learn the best way to learn from them. I don't know if that last sentence made any sense, but you get the point. If you don't understand something from lecture, don't be afraid to ask for help. You could email them, go to their office hours, or even after class, just be like, hey, I have a really quick question. If you get a bad grade or badly fail your first Chemistry 1 exam, don't blame and start hating your professor. Instead, use your professor so you can do better on the next exam. Ask them things like, hey, I don't know how to do this problem. Why did I get this problem wrong? Or just even like how to study. How do I study for this class? But build a good relationship with them and don't hate on them just because you're doing bad. Next up on the list, and this is something that I just like really wish I could have like done before, but that's why I'm making this video so that you guys don't make the same mistakes I did. And that is to search for internships and research before you start classes. One of my biggest regrets from my first semester of doing my post-bacc is that I was not involved at all. I didn't do any research, I didn't do any internships, I didn't have a job, like literally nothing. Now here's the thing, once you start your program and classes get going, it just becomes harder to look for things. You get going with classes and you just get really busy, positions start filling up. So if you're interested in getting involved, what I wish I would have done is that way before classes started, maybe even like a month before classes started, is that I would have looked for opportunities. Let's say you want to do research. A month before you start your program, you start your classes, go on the school's website and just look for research opportunities, or even ask your program director about how you could be involved in research. But like I said, the key is to start looking for things early, because once you're in the middle of the semester, it just becomes really hard, almost even impossible to look for things. Next thing on the list, and this is something that just like really shocked me, is that everybody, and by everybody I mean like your classmates, is that everybody is really different. Now again, this mainly applies to cohort programs like mine where we all have the same classes, the same schedule. But in undergrad, the majority of people are like the same in terms of like age, education, experience. Like everybody's like last educational thing was like high school, and then they go to college, do undergrad, and yeah, that's kind of like the vibe. But in a post-bacc, you literally have classmates from like everywhere, like all different ages, all different work and educational experiences. Like literally everybody's just like all over the place. Now this isn't a bad thing like at all. It's actually really cool talking and meeting people that have like a whole different background than you, but just be open-minded and realize that you're gonna have to work with people that are like completely different than you. That's pretty much all you have to know. The next thing on this list is to leave any past baggage behind. Any past drama, toxic relationship, situationship, you guys get what I'm saying. Just leave that behind. When you are doing a post-bacc, your main focus should be you, yourself, and the post-bacc and your grades. If you try to carry these things from the past into your new post-bacc life, things are just not gonna go well. You're gonna get distracted, your emotions are gonna be all over the place. It's just not worth dealing with them. Even if it means you have to stop talking to people, cut ties with people, whatever it takes, just make your main focus the post-bacc. The next thing that I wish I would have known, and this applies to anything, but especially for a post-bacc, it is so important that you do this, and that is to avoid distractions. Not gonna lie, in undergrad I got really distracted sometimes, but in post-bacc, guys, I cannot emphasize it. Do not get distracted by stupid shit. Distractions are bad. They are evil. They get in the way of you reaching your goals. This past semester, whenever I got distracted, whether it was going out or literally just scrolling on Instagram for like hours instead of studying, I always regretted it later. So just don't let distractions get in your way. So here's a new approach I'm taking as a young 23-year-old man in a post-bacc program. If it is not productive, if it does not help me reach my goal, I am not doing it. That is it. Now the last thing on my list, which I wish I would have honestly been a lot better at doing at, is to embrace the post-bacc. I think one of my biggest mistakes into the post-bacc is that I was like really nervous. I was scared. I didn't know like who I was gonna meet. It was my first time living alone, first time like leaving my home. So all these emotions just kind of like got to me, and it made me think like really negative of doing a post-bacc. But don't do that, because if you have a negative mindset, nothing is gonna go your way. Come in ready, happy, and motivated. At the end of the day, nobody's forcing you to do a post-bacc. You're literally doing this because you want to. You want to reach your goals. So start positive. Know that you're gonna have good moments, bad moments, like when you completely fail your first Chemistry 1 exam. But if you just stay positive throughout this journey, focus on your goals, and work hard, everything will go your way. way. But yeah, those were pretty much all the things I have to tell you about things I wish I would have known before starting a post-bacc. I really do hope that you guys use this video to the best of your advantage, because I really didn't have anybody to tell me what a post-bacc was gonna be like. I kind of just applied, I talked to my program director, but there's really nobody on YouTube or just anywhere that talks about being a post-bacc student. So hopefully I can start doing that. But if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel down below to stay up to date with my weekly uploads. That is it for me, but always remember to stay hydrated.